Chelsea recently beating the defending champions Liverpool, but also losing to Brighton at home, drawing to Brentford, but then smacking PSG in the Club World Cup during the summer. It's got us to wonder what is going on at Chelsea. So, guys, welcome back to Basement Ballers. Brahim, we have a guest today, Chelsea fan, Bassel. Bassel, you want to introduce yourself,
Hey man, name is Bassel, short for Bass. You can call me Bass whenever you want. But Chelsea fan since I want to say 2010, 09, when the Barca boys broke my heart there. But we recovered from that, and been supporting the club ever since. So big weekend ahead.
So essentially, I got you on here today because I want to ask you a couple questions. I'm gonna first start off by this one. So essentially, why do you think Chelsea have been so inconsistent? Do you think these inconsistencies are going to be a problem over time, or do you think they'll eventually just snuff it out and go back to being a winning title team,
The inconsistencies is a thing. I think we've been inconsistent ever since I think the new ownership. I think that's where we lost consistency ever since then. I think it's been finding identity. Players coming in and out of the club, kind of being this new system where we got a threshold of bringing players younger. You're gonna have this under 25, under 27 thing going on. So I think that we're finding ourselves. I think the last 3 seasons have been growth, but throughout that growth, you'll see that inconsistency.
But you have to take in because last year you guys appointed Maresca, who was the Leicester manager, I believe, right? Got them promoted. You guys got him in. And then obviously it hasn't been smooth sailing. You guys have obviously had some bad results, some good results. But he does have some leeway because you guys also won the Conference League, which, depending on who's asking, is a big trophy or not. But still a trophy, and the Club World Cup. And you guys did have to beat PSG in that game.
No, totally. I mean, I always have a theory, and I've repeated this so many times. If you're in that competition, Europa League, we know our caliber is not Conference League. Chelsea's not a Conference League team. We all know that. But if you're in that league, you end up finding yourself playing there, win it, bring it back to the bridge. I think that's what they did, and they did it well. They went flawless practically. I know they lost maybe a game here, a game there, but they did well. And Club World Cup, I think that was. I mean, listen, it's controversial now. A lot of people will hate on it, call it this glorified preseason tournament. But I do genuinely think that it showed resilience. It shows that Chelsea's still a big club.
Yeah, well, I don't think anyone's denying Chelsea's a big club. My only thing with Chelsea, just what makes me laugh, is because, for example, I notice in a lot of the bigger games, you guys tend to play well. It's kind of the same thing it's kind of like the way United are, because United, when in big games where you think they're going to get smacked, most of the time they either don't get smacked, they'll lose. They don't get smacked the way we'd think they would, or they win or they draw. Case in point, I remember last year, United go to Anfield, and United, this is they finished 15th last year. They go to Anfield against the team that ends up winning the Prem. I'm thinking they're going to get dog walked. They ended up drawing 2-2. And it's kind of the same thing with Chelsea where, against Liverpool, I'll be honest, I thought you guys were going to lose. Not, badly, but I thought you guys would lose because I'm Chelsea's good, but, they're also a team that just lost to Brentford. They drew to Brentford and lost to Brighton at home. And Brighton is not
Well, you got to take into consideration the context of those games. I mean, if our regular Premier League viewers know that, Chelsea's 4 reds with our manager taking the 4th red.
Yeah.
So, that plays a factor. I think, the United game for me was the game that kind of got to me because it's that big club. We're expected to play a good game. We have a weird record against United.
No, you guys haven't won at Old Trafford since 2012 or 13
it's a pretty bad stat. So I thought it was it, and then Bob Sanchez does what Bob Sanchez likes to do. So.
It's one thing as well. My thing is, because this is obviously what people always say about Chelsea's, you guys have spent probably the most out of everyone the last couple years. Also, the thing is with you guys, man, is that you guys just sign players from out of nowhere, and most of the time they just don't play. For example, I remember the transfer window you guys had. I think it was the first one you guys had under Boli. It was maybe summer 22. You guys were signing Chukwuemeka. You guys signed Disasi. All these guys, I'm thinking, where did they get these guys from? Most of them, most of the guys you signed back then aren't even at the club anymore. And then if you look at right now, all that money you spent, and then the one area I'd say where your team is very good
sales.
is I'd say, first of all, you guys sell well.
Yeah,
also, just the team itself is obviously the midfield. Your midfield's very good. I think your attack,
it costed us a lot. You know what I mean?
It cost you a lot, but it's good. Your attack, obviously, with João Pedro, you guys have Neto, you guys have Cole Palmer, very good. But then you guys are also the same team that, for example, still employ, Bob Sanchez, who I don't know why he's there in the first place, and also splashed out 45 M's on Garnacho. That's
Yeah, the Garnacho trade is still not sitting right with me. Although he had a pretty good cameo last week, but I mean, I think that the spending thing, I think it's a false. I mean, look, you got to look at it this way. Chelsea's spending money on a lot of youngsters. A lot of players are coming in later on throughout the years. You know, the whole Strasbourg thing too, which
Yeah.
kind of has its
human trafficking club,
Yeah,
bro,
you
I'm
know.
telling you.
So, they're buying all these players. And I agree. I had this conversation with a friend of mine, and I was like, for the first time, I looked at my starting 11, and I'm like, where did the money go?
Yeah.
We got players that are like, I don't know. I feel like the sporting directors play a big role. I think a lot of the Chelsea fan base know that they play a big role. So it's tough sometimes to play that, because I think, like, I'm going to hope that Garnacho was not I don't think it came from the coach. I think, like, Joao Felix wasn't from a coach decision. A lot of those things sometimes happen from the sporting directors. So the money being spent, I get it. But, I mean, hey, they shut my mouth this summer. They sold. You know what I mean?
You guys, this is one thing I'm so envious of, not just you guys, but just Prem clubs in general, is you guys can sell your bums for like 30 to 40 plus million.
it's good PR.
Like the example I always use, it's not even Chelsea's, Liverpool. Like, to this day, I'm gobsmacked. They sold Kwanzaa for like, what was it, 35 million, I think? They sold him for 35 million. Meanwhile, us, like, if you look at Barca, and this is obviously a league issue just because La Liga's run insanely badly.
Agreed.
If we were to sell someone, like, okay, the Kwanzaa equivalent in our squad is like, I don't know, maybe like Eric Garcia. Even then, Eric Garcia actually plays. We sell him, we're not selling him for more than 10 million at that.
Yeah.
But then, like, there's Prem teams that you guys, like, including you guys, that just sell on a whim.
Well, yeah,
it's
and
very easy for you
agreed.
guys to sell.
Yeah, no, and Nkunku left to like AC Milan for like an absurd price.
You guys got him basically back for probably as much as you guys spent on, maybe like a few million less, but still, you know what I
For a
mean?
player that did his part at the club and stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, the sales, it works. But again, like, football's played on the pitch, not off the pitch. At the end of the day, you can sell all you want, you can buy all you want, but it needs to be proven on the pitch. And I think that Chelsea are getting there. So, we talk about, going back to the main topic, we're talking about inconsistencies. I agree. Discipline. Discipline's a new one we can use this year because it's problematic.
You guys, actually, this reminded me of, I don't know if you remember, this was back like during COVID times. This was like when Arsenal went through a patch. This is when Arteta, like, I think it was like a year into the job.
Yeah.
They went through a patch where they got like a bunch of red cards in like successive games. Like Xhaka got a red card at some point. I remember David Luiz, your boy, got a red card at some point against Wolves. And they kind of had the same thing where, like, you could see they were building something, but the discipline just wasn't there. And obviously, I know Arsenal haven't won anything yet really under Arteta besides the FA Cup, but the performances are still good. My thing with Chelsea, what I'm just wondering right now is, I think your starting 11 when everyone's fully fit, I think is third or fourth best in the league. I think it's very good.
I agree.
It's very good.
No,
I think the
agree.
only teams who have a better starting 11 than you when fully fit are Liverpool, Arsenal, and I'd say probably Man City as well. But you guys have a very good starting 11. My thing is just that, like, essentially, what do you think is going to happen this year? My prediction this year going in was that you guys would finish fourth. I think you guys were going to finish fourth. I'd said it was going to be Liverpool, Arsenal, City, then Chelsea. I'm still sticking to that prediction because I just think, like, you guys are the best out of the rest of the league.
You said Liverpool
first, Arsenal second, City third, and then Chelsea fourth. And just looking at so far, you guys obviously have had, the Liverpool result, but you guys also lost to the worst United team in recorded history.
Yeah, but again,
so, like, it's just,
if we had those 11 men, I do. And listen, hey, I was really critical about the coach that game. I think his in-game management was
horrible.
Horrible.
Man. The guy subbed off your whole attack.
It was
João Pedro,
horrible.
Cole Palmer, who I get. Well, he had a knock, but if he had a knock, why was he starting?
It was horrible. I still think that he went very defensive very early. Listen, I think 2 press conferences after he kind of admitted his faults or post games or whatever, where he was like, I probably should have went a little bit more, less conservative. And I think we could have kept up because that United squad was not it. And, even I see Mason Mount come on and I'm giggling, you know what I mean? So,
you guys, it was funny. That's another one. You guys got 65, I think, for Mason Mount.
pure profit.
Yeah, pure. That's one thing because he's a club. He's an academy player. That's
We've done that.
65 million of pure profit. My thing is just this is what makes me. It's like United. Like Garnacho came from Atletico's academy, then went to United when he was like 16. So he's not like. Yeah, he's an academy player, but he's not like born and bred Manchester. But he's still an academy player. You guys basically did the reverse, where you guys to this day I don't know why you guys paid 45 for Garnacho. That guy, to me, like, my prediction, even when he was like starting off, people were hyping him up, was that he was gonna end up at like some lower league Prem team or like, I don't know, Sevilla or something.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I have a theory that one of the sporting directors had a somewhat of a crush on that player. I don't believe that it was talent. I don't know. I mean, he's coming from United. It gave me what Arsenal do when they come get a player from Chelsea.
It's like when we guys got like, Sterling
It gave me
off you.
it gave me Hazard.
Yeah.
No, sorry, not Hazard. Sorry, Havertz.
Yeah,
I repeat
Havertz.
myself. It gave me Havertz, and it reminded me when Havertz goes on the market. The Arsenal fans jumped on that trade. They wanted him. They didn't even. I don't think we even negotiated.
I don't know. From what I remember, okay, yeah.
He landed. I was okay.
Arteta really wanted him. Because some fans, you always have like the super positive fans who just like trust anything the club does. So maybe them. But I know a lot of Arsenal fans I saw either online or even people I knew, even including myself, like I thought that was a very dumb transfer. I'm like, why? Because for the price and plus Arsenal, like at the time, needed like an actual like number 9. And the thing with Havertz is to this day, I don't know what he is.
Yeah, he's those like we call them. I'm gonna shout out my boy Brisca for this one. He calls them 9.5s, and they are 9.5s. They play right below the striker. They play as a 10 as well. They can float to the right. They can float to the left. I think he overgrew. Havertz is one of those players that I think like when he was playing at Leverkusen was a little shorter. Then came to the Prem and he had this weird growth spurt.
Listen, got you a Champions League, man.
No, listen, thanks for scoring that, but it was N'Golo Kante, and I still give him the shout out. That was his tournament.
But that was also but also even the goal itself, that was just a Mason Mount through ball.
Oh my God.
Both the guys who combined for your last Champions League are not even there anymore.
Yeah, and I don't think the fan base likes them too much, let me tell you.
Here's the thing, Havertz, I feel like the fan base was kind of like, they didn't like him much even when he was there just because he was kind of shit, but also just like the fact he went to Arsenal. But the thing is with Havertz, he's obviously a foreign player. The thing with Mason Mount that hurts more is he's a academy
he's
player,
homegrown
academy player, English, and also went to United. Like I think like I know Chelsea hate Arsenal more than they hate United, but also like he went to United when United were like they were shit. Like why would you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it
made
was
no sense for him.
It sounded like just
straight money.
I mean his pops was there in the
like in the press conference.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, you're home, Mace, home, right?"
Yeah, you're home, and I was there. And I'm like, it does. Like, if a Barca player did that, I'd lose my shit, bro. I'll be honest, because like if we had like, for example, okay, it's obviously not on the same level, but like, say, okay, no, we'll take Gavi. I'll take Gavi an example. We take Gavi, right? Homegrown academy player, and then he goes off to like, I don't know, Atletico Madrid. And then he comes out, and then his dad comes out talking like, "Oh, this is home," and like he's doing all this like, "Oh, like I was always an Atletico fan." I'd lose my shit, bro.
Yeah, no, it's definitely weird. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think that farewell video, everything.
That was so.
People still think it was filmed a little bit before the actual transfer.
It was a ChatGPT script, but the guy was looking. I remember that the way he was reading it too was so robotic as well. I'm like, there's no way. Like, if you grew up in a team from the academy to the first team, won them a Champions League, did all this, and that's your farewell video, to me, it's like, there's no way that wasn't like a ChatGPT script. Because if it comes from the heart, it would have been way better.
I want to shout out Enzo for that. I feel like Enzo walks him through the park. Every time he comes, they play against each other.
He hates him.
And I don't know, those South Americans, man, those guys play with passion. You know what I mean? And, I know Enzo already a controversial topic when it comes to pricing and him being in the squad.
Yeah, he's not 120 million.
And I agree. Listen, I love him. I still think that he can get to his potential, and he still won the World Cup. I think he put a good performance during that World Cup.
Bro, he's won every final he's ever played in. Like he's won the the Club World Cup. He's won the Conference League, the World Cup. He's won the with Benfica. He's won shit. Like you know what I mean. So like he's a winning player. No, he's a player that definitely like has his place. Like he's a very good player. Just obviously for 120, it's like Caicedo. It's like Caicedo's like 115. I don't look, bro. No. In today's market, he's worth 100 at least. Don't get me wrong. Just at the time when they got him, and mind you, look,
it's an investment. Man.
Look, mind you, last year, because people were trying to tell me Caicedo was like, we have a friend like on the podcast called Joey, right? And he's a Chelsea fan as well. And he was trying to say like, oh, Caicedo's the best,
Joey.
Best DM in the world and all that. And I was there. I'm like, I'm not willing to say that yet.
I do back it. I do back it. I think that looking at it from a perspective that you just look at the numbers, look at the charts. I think I just saw something today, like 3 man of the matches in his first 3 games. He plays, and the whole shin kicker thing. I think that is flawed. He does it, but he still gives me more than that. You know what I mean? And like I said, the South Americans, those guys play with heart.
Bro, he gets you bangers too. Against
Gets
Liverpool,
me a banger.
for example.
That I mean, holy.
Which also, Kareem's not here today, but Kareem, you're nice zesty center back, Virgil van Dijk, bro. This guy does this.
He's got to get down and dirty, eh?
Bro, the thing is, like, for a center back at a certain point, you got to realize, like, okay, yeah, I have a nice hairline and a man bun and waves, but like, I got to get down and dirty because, bro, the guy's just looking at him and thinks like, I don't know, he's just projecting something that's gonna blind him or something. Like, bro, just like. go tackle the
100%.
dude. The
No,
guy
I
just
get
gave
that.
him that much space, and then, well, a player of that caliber is going to score that.
The whole never got dribbled past.
Yeah, I mean, like, to this day, it's a lie because Nicolas Pepe rinsed him in his first Arsenal game. I remember that. So to this day, that stat's a lie.
Yeah, Pepe's winning in every corner of life.
But
right
like, more on that at some point. But yeah, but basically, okay. So I want to kind of wrap this up. Is just what do you think predictions wise this season? What, like, first of all, what would you be happy with, and also what do you think is going to happen?
I'd be happy with. Yeah, Chelsea's definitely. I had them finishing third. Again, I'm humble enough to say we won't finish first. I think Arsenal, are bound to. You know what I mean? 20-some years, boys. Come on.
They have to win it at some point.
And you've never sung it, so maybe make it this year. I don't know. Something needs to happen. But I'm gonna take my focus away from the Arsenal boys for a second. But Chelsea, I think, need to finish at least top 3. Go get me another trophy because trophies look good at Stamford Bridge. I think it's something that we do, and we've proved it. Like we said, we faced that PSG team, and believe it or not, everything in in me knew that they were gonna come back with the dub. And the second I saw Cole Palmer,
Shit, not me, bro.
I'm telling you, I backed this team up because I know it. I see it. I felt it. It gave me that Man City game.
Look, when it comes to finals, I will say this: Chelsea is like. Well, I feel like that's been instilled since the Mourinho days. Chelsea's just a team that, like, okay, you might not think they'll make it to a certain point, but once they get there, like, for example, like, I remember the FA Cup in, what was it, 2018? Yeah, the one where you guys ended up beating United, right?
Yeah.
I remember that year thinking United was going to beat you, but then when you guys ended up winning, I was like, yeah, but it's kind of like what Chelsea does. It's like they can be shit, but if they actually get to a point where they're in a final, they're going to show.
Well, 2012, right? I mean, like, no one in the world would expect that. I mean, again, you look at it like it's probably in Champions League history as one of the most
I cannot. But to this day,
teams to win it.
To this day, to me, the 2 worst teams I've ever seen win the Champions
League. If you say Chelsea twice, it's crazy.
It is.
It's wild. No, because that Tuchel team was
defensively amazing.
They were a good team, man.
Like, they were good.
They were a good team, but I don't think. Yeah. Well, anyways.
Like, bro, Mason Mount, Ziyech, and Havertz Ziyech, Werner, like those guys was your attack. So
I guess our midfield and back kind of did its part. But
Thiago
again,
Silva, man, club legend.
Oh, Thiago Silva, man. Shout out to Thiago Silva. I think comes in and fine wine. You know what I mean? Fine wine. But to stay on topic, I think that it's important that we do finish, bring a trophy home, and I'm expecting a lot of growth from the players. I'm expecting more experience now. It's we're back in Champions League, and that for me already is a big accomplishment. We took the early loss against Bayern. I think hurt, but it's something I expected. The boys are going in Allianz Arena. It's tough. It's hard. You might lose the game, and that's what happened.
I mean, especially with the form Bayern's in.
Well, Bayern is a solid team. Kane is balling. I can't believe I'd say that, but now I can because he's different. He's not wearing the Spurs jersey anymore. But it's about that, and I think it's experience that the team's building. I do think that there's areas that we need.
I'd say goalies definitely.
We definitely need to look at the goalie situation, the center back situation. I think we were one Levi Colwill injury away, and then now I can say that about. Playing a free transfer Tosin with your academy graduate Shalaba who
got loaned out to Palace in the first place.
Gets called back. Exactly. You know what I mean? It's tough. And then last game against Liverpool, Acheampong getting off, great talent. I think honestly he's up and coming. And then Reece James.
Listen, I'm gonna
Reece James.
Listen, I'm gonna say this. Okay, between the Trent and Reece debates, I would always say, listen. Okay,
cut it.
My main argument for why I would always say Trent's better is, first of all, just availability, because Reece James is always injured. I mean, this year he's been good so far, so long may that continue. But it was always the injury thing, and also just because. Trent just, to me, was a bit more wavy to watch because his ball delivery was good. But I can definitely say this. Okay. Reece James defensively obviously shits on Trent. I can say that for sure. And then going forward, I will say this. Trent's ball delivery is better. I don't think anyone can deny that. But the thing with Reece James, he's more mobile. Like, he can dribble past dudes more than Trent. He can move around better than Trent.
Yeah, he played in the midfield all his life.
Exactly.
Right?
So my thing is I'll give you that to you now. Also, that Trent's at Madrid now, so I'm obviously going to hate Trent now. But, I'll give you Reece James for sure.
I don't recall him starting anymore. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, he's injured now till next month. So he's missing the Clasico. But even before he got injured, like the 5 league games they played, I think he started 2 of them. Carvajal started the other ones. But now they're actually both injured.
Yeah.
But we'll get on that for another day for Madrid.
But no, I think Reece James and his availability, we speak about his availability, I think has played a big role. Having your captain there too is big. You know what I mean? We played a few years with our co-captains. It's hard not having that leadership on the pitch and off the pitch. But no, I think we played a good game. We showed resilience. Resilience was the name of the game. At the end of the day, I think that's what they showed, and they kept playing to the last minute, literally.
So you think, literally, exactly. Esteban, the thing is with him, I'm just going to say this. He's obviously not at the level of Yamal yet, but a lot of the way he plays reminds me of him just because, like, his ball delivery is very good. Like, I will say that. His ball delivery is very good. Plus, he's left-footed. Plus, bro, is this my thing? Might be an aesthetics thing. I just love watching left-footed players. They're much more fun to watch.
Yeah, and they come from, little Brazilian boy, you know what I mean, from the favelas. He comes, he's playing, he's whatever, all that good stuff. But again, I feel like maybe a little bit of like weight management in the next few years.
Yeah, he's gonna have to hit the weight room for sure.
You're gonna hit the gym a little bit. But
so you're telling me basically, so for this year, you'd be happy with top 4 and a trophy.
Top 4 and a trophy. I think we're not yet to go all the way to lift the Prem, which I think it would be my next trophy.
I think Prem, you guys will definitely be in contention for it within the next 2 years. I think this year's too early. I think next year might be a bit too early as well. If Maresca stays, like obviously the results keep growing, he stays. I think by the next 2 to 3 years, you guys could be up there competing again. I think so because this team, first of all, this team is very different than teams you've had in the previous season. Just because, first of all these players were bought around the same time, all got integrated around the same time in the team, so they've had time to integrate with each other. They're all young, and also Maresca is like a Pep disciple, so he's going to drill, I hope he's going to drill some discipline into them, some cohesion. Plus, Chelsea's obviously known for, sacking managers and rotating. What you guys were having post-Lampard was like, obviously, you guys, you get Tuchel, he goes, and you have Graham Potter, and then you guys get Pochettino. Then you guys actually brought Lampard back and all that. So, now Chelsea is to a point where I think it's relatively stable. I think, obviously, if you address the goalkeeping issue, the center back issue, I'd still maybe look into getting one more attacker, I think.
Oh, totally. I agree. I agree for the attacker, but again, that's not the focus. I think the focus is strengthening the goalkeeper situation, the center back situation, which, by the way, the coach asked for. So if you trust the coach,
get him a goal.
Get him what he wants. You know what I mean? Get him what he wants. But no, for sure. I think that's what I'm predicting.
Oh, cool. Well, then I think with that, we could wrap it up. Guys, huge shout out to Bassett. We're going to plug his social and everything in the description. Make sure you guys go follow his Twitter. He'll give you some funny footballing takes, some other funny non-football related takes, so you guys can look at that. Make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube, go on to TikTok, the Instagram, the Twitter, everything, and we will catch you soon. Peace.